Moment of truth. Got it. Yeah, that looks a lot better. We're gonna be going over how to fix some sagging doors, how to fix some rubbing doors, doors that won't kind of latch right. I've spent the afternoon scouring YouTube trying to find different methods I could use to fix those doors. And I found several, and I'm gonna show you how I applied them, how they worked, what I'd recommend, and I'll even show you all of my mistakes. We're gonna start off by making sure all of our screws are tight to our hinges. We're gonna check for any stripped out screws, and if you have any stripped out ones, we're gonna show you how I fix those. We're gonna show you how to bend your hinges to get your gaps just right if you need to. I'm gonna show you how I adjusted the strike plate, and I'm gonna show you how I did all that on the same door. Stay tuned. All right, we got our first door for the day, and this one has a little bit of a gapping here. It's not too bad side to side, but it's not latching at all. There we go, this latch, you gotta lift up a little bit. That'll do. Did anybody have a door like that? Where you just have to like lift up a little bit? So that tells me we've got a sag in here. The first thing we're gonna look at are these top hinges here. We're gonna see if make sure all of these screws are tight. I'm using a screwdriver instead of a drill or impact because I don't want to accidentally strip out these holes and then have to figure out how to overcome that problem. So screwdriver it is today. That one got a little bit of looseness. That needs to be tightened up a little bit. That one is really tight, or really loose. Let's go on that one. Moment of truth. Got it. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Our gapping is good. We do have, instead of it rubbing, it is a slight gap, which is good. But the biggest problem is the latch. Latch now works. Okay. Just tighten the hinges, fix that one. But we do have those two stripped out holes and we still have a little bit of a tight gap there. I'm gonna do step 2 on this one. Option number 2, we're gonna take a 3-inch all-purpose screw, replace one of those stripped out small screws on that top hinge with one of these guys and suck it into the stud next to it. 3-inch screw. Right stud. I definitely saw that get sucked in. Okay, this tests it out, see if it works. Oh dude, that's great. Okay, this is awesome. That gap is all consistent all the way down now. This latch works. I can't open this door, I don't have to anymore. Yes, got it. Okay, checking out our hinges are tight and then adding a 3-inch screw, sucking it into the wall, nailed this door perfectly. Now we have this door. Has an extreme gap side to side. Gap on the hinge side isn't too bad. And this is pretty consistent until you get to that top. I can stick my finger in that, that's crazy. So once again, we're gonna start with method 1 and work our way up with this one. Handy dandy screwdriver. Looks like it's already got a longer screw in there, but it's stripped anyway. That was loose. That was a little bit loose. All these center ones down here in the middle are all loose. There were several loose screws on those hinges at the top and in the middle. So let's try it out now. Latches. My gap at least exists now. It's like a 32nd of an inch, but we still have this really bad, really gnarly top gap. So I'm thinking we'll pull out some of those longer screws that I found that are already stripped and we'll go from there, see if we can salvage those holes. Cool. Let's see what that did. Nah, we're still jacked up pretty bad. I felt like those screws bit a little bit, but not really enough to suck us in. All right, we're gonna go to method 3 now. Method 3 consists of just popping this pin out. Screwdriver's too big. I saw in some videos they just pop the top pin out, but because this sag is so bad, I'm gonna pop the middle one out to see if we can't get any more flex out of this. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna lift up on the door. Watch how these hinges move right here. I'm gonna get it kind of about where I want it. And then I'm gonna bend the hinge, the door to match right there. So I want to bend the door side in to match. So funny story, I was going over here to adjust these hinges with the crescent wrench like I was showing you. I popped the hinge out of the door side, so stripped the holes and everything. Murphy found me on this project again. Anybody relate? Please just leave a comment on a time that Murphy showed up on one of your projects. Love Murphy. So we got to figure out how to put this hinge back in. It's not, I saw it, so I tried it without Murphy showing up at least once on one of these projects. You gotta love it. Okay, let's get back to bending these hinges. This door, we've tightened the hinges. We've fixed stripped holes on the hinges, thank you Murphy. We've bent the hinges. We've added a 3-inch screw to this top thing to try and suck up the sagging door. So we've tried 4 different methods on this door. And what do we have? We got even gaps on this side, even gaps on that side. We still have a gap at the top. It's an 1/8 inch less than it was. I can still kind of put a finger in there. It's still pretty noticeable, but the door works really well. It's not binding, it's not touching, it's not rubbing anymore. Overall, it's working. We just have that gap right here. Let me know what you do here with this continued sag, but everything else looks pretty consistent, and the door latches. I've been able to do all the doors in my house that were having issues with either tightening up the hinges or adding a longer screw in. We're able to wrap up most of them. But now it is time for the granddaddy of them all. Rubbing down there now. Okay, after all that, let's try this again. Hey! We latch. All right, let's show you what we've got here. All right, so our gap here, much less than what it was before. This gap looks okay. All right, here on the granddaddy of them all, we tightened the hinge plates. We put toothpicks in stripped out screws. We replaced the screws. We used longer screws on the top and on the middle to suck it into the stud on the side. We adjusted the strike plate down a little bit. We bent the top hinge. We bent the middle hinge. I think we even bent the bottom hinge. Yeah, we bent all 3 hinges. And we have a closing door now. The hinges do bind just a little bit, but honestly, I'd rather have a door that closes, just a closet door. I'm not too worried about the binding hinges. We'll figure those out on another time. But yeah, I think we did all 5 on this one door, and we got her done. Team. All right, we saw it, we tried it, it worked. All that being said, what should we try next?